It's the rush. No strings attached, not a care in the world, until it all goes wrong.
I clinically died. When I hit the road, my skull shattered and punctured my brain.
Hannah Huntoon seemed to have the perfect life. The 16-year-old girl from Florida was a dancer, straight-A student, and popular in school.
I felt like I was like this perfect human being who just could do whatever she wanted, say whatever she wanted, like no one could get in my way.
One day, Hannah and her friends decided to try a new fad that was making the rounds on YouTube, car surfing. She stood on top of a moving car and then fell off.
And I just remember falling. I just hit the ground and then died on impact. The left side of my skull shattered, I had punctured parts of my brain, and I was just lying in the road.
It took paramedics several minutes to revive her, but she was still in a coma.
I woke up 2.5 weeks later, bald. I couldn't really move.
Were you scared?
I was terrified. Every time I moved my head too fast, I could feel my brain roll. I could feel it. I could lean to the side and trace the lines of my brain. I had no skull.
And Hannah had to start her life over.
I had to relearn how to walk. Things that you learn as a baby, I was 16 years old struggling to do. I couldn't speak. I was trapped in my body, having nurses do everything for me because I couldn't do it myself.
The government reports that in an 8-year period, car surfing caused 99 serious injuries, and 58 of them were fatal. Believe it or not, there's a reason why teens are more likely to take risks. Scientists say that this part of the brain, the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for decision-making, is not fully developed. Well, at least not until your mid-20s. That's why young people may have a tough time seeing the real risks behind their choices.
Adolescence is a time in which they have to explore their environment, which can be a little bit, well...
Tempting?
Yeah, tempting or maybe a little bit dangerous.
Barbara Brams runs a lab at Harvard University that studies the influence of risk-taking on adolescents.
We track how the brain develops and how that relates to what kind of risks people take, either on a laboratory task or in the real world.
Here, a simulated gambling game
Okay, I win 3 or I lose 3.
could potentially chart just how much of a risk teens are willing to take in real life.
Win 5, yes.
Scientists say taking risks stimulates the striatum, a region that's related to getting rewards. And this part of the brain is more active during teenage years than at any other time.
Rewards can be very basic, from eating a piece of chocolate to being accepted in the group. This drive towards receiving rewards may lead to risk-taking to receive those rewards.
Not all risks are bad. Like applying for a tough college or asking someone out on a date could be considered good risks that help teens learn and adapt to their environment. But it can be tough to stay clear of the bad risks. Scientists say teens are more likely to engage in risky behavior because their brain isn't fully developed. What do you think about that?
The lack of development in our brains as a teenager is absolutely the biggest reason that these YouTube challenges and risk-taking behaviors happen for teenagers. There's a level of maturity that you need to reach to be able to weigh pros and cons of decisions. The majority of teenagers just lack that.
6 years later, Hannah takes me to the site of her accident, just around the corner from her house. Now, coming back here to this spot, how are you feeling right now?
It's still hard. It's never not going to be hard, but it gets easier, just little by little. I'm that 0.01% of fully recovering, able to dance again, ever able to go to school again. I graduated on time. I'm lucky. I'm very lucky.
Arielle Hixson, Channel 1 News.